It's day 3 of trying to set up our Build Empire LMS in Tocha as a marketer. And today we're talking branding, so let's get started. If you missed the earlier episodes, I've done all the basic setup so far. I did a big chunk of work on our learning strategy and what we're trying to achieve with this LMS. So please do go and watch that one if you missed it. But I've also set up the basic things like roles, permissions, and at the moment our LMS is looking a little bit bare. So let's log in so I can show you. Today I thought I'd have a go at branding because honestly this is probably one of my favourite things. So after all, I'm a marketer, so this is sort of my bread and butter. But I'm intrigued to see how much I can actually edit and manipulate the platform to look how I want it to. So some of you might be thinking, is branding even that important? And of course, it's not as important as the meaty stuff like creating the learning content. But this is really where you can make your platform feel like your own, and that's really important. The way your LMS looks and feels has a huge impact on how well people actually learn. So, if the platform isn't designed with learners in mind, it's hard for them to stay focused or even remember what they've just gone through. So, there's 2 different ways to look at branding in an LMS as well. So, you could make your LMS an extension of your company. So, same colours, same logo, similar styling to your company website, perhaps. Or you could do something completely different and make your LMS or like a completely separate entity. So, as a rogue example, imagine you're a company that makes honey and your website is called the Honey Pot and it has cute little graphics and colours. But for your learning pot, where you share courses on the different types of honey you sell, you want something a bit different. So, you could call it the buzz and give it its own branding. It's a nice way to differentiate the two, and it can actually be quite powerful because it doesn't feel connected to your company brand. It feels a bit different. So this could be a good thing if you want your learners to feel like their training is custom made, or if you don't want them to feel like it's, homemade. So those are your 2 options. It's definitely worth considering which option you want to go for, but definitely do invest in branding if there's one thing that you're going to take away from today. When the design is done right, it can really help with engagement and improve retention and generally support better business results. So, on the other hand, though, if your LMS design misses the mark, you'll see drop offs, disengagement, and a lot of frustration. So, that means that all the effort that you're putting into creating your courses can get missed before they've even had a proper chance. So, anyway, let's get into it because I'm keen to show you it in practice and see what we can do with this blank canvas. We're going to keep our LMS relating to our Build Empire branding, just as it's going to be training specifically on our products and on Tocha. So first things first, let's update the logo. So let's go to Settings, Appearance, and then Build Empire Edition. Here we go. There's a tab for logos, and I've got my file ready. So let's just give it a whirl. Okay, so this file is looking a little wide. Now, obviously, I've done this on purpose because I do want to show you how to make it look better. So, generally speaking, for these logos, you want a square file. So, we'll try a square file instead. This file is 180 times 180 pixels. If you don't have a square file, it is super easy to make one on Design Tools online. So, once it's on, just make sure the resolution is looking okay, as you don't want it to be blurry. This file is a colour version of our logo, and I'm actually considering a different coloured navigation menu, so I might upload a white version of the logo instead. Yep, that's done. And then next up, brand colours. So there are a fair few options here. You can only pick your primary, accent, page and text colours and a couple of others, but there is some room for brand personalisation there. In a later video, I'll be diving into the addition versus non-addition to go over more of the nuances like this. So make sure you subscribe to see that one. Now, speaking of the addition, we're actually using that currently on our platform. So this is basically our version of Tocha, and it includes a whole load more of extra features and options. So I'm going to apply that and show you the colour options there instead. As you can see, there's quite a lot in here that the addition can customise. You've got primary colour, header text, icons, secondary headers. Okay, let's tackle them one at a time, so bear with me here. My brand colours are pulled from just our logo. So, but it's a whole lot of pink and red. So I'm going to do a bit of tweaking and show you what it looks like with just those few colours. As you can see now, this is looking a bit much. So if you don't have access to a brand document or guidelines, speak to your marketing team if you've got one. I'm sure they'll love you asking them for their advice on this. And if you don't have a marketing team, I'd really suggest sorting out a strong colour palette. Bright colours can get a bit overwhelming, and we tend to just try and use bright colours for call to actions and buttons. But yeah, that's kind of like the marketing 101 on that. Our proper brand guidelines that we use include a lot more neutral colours, so I'm going to make some changes now using them, and you can see the difference. Okay, there we go. What do you think? If only you could just reply instantly to me like we were having a chat. But you can comment, so I'll take a look at it after. Hopefully you're not commenting, change everything, Helen, and I'll only see it afterwards. Right, it's not perfect yet, but it's starting to look like a platform you'd actually want to use. Seeing it come together like this is really satisfying, but you can see with just a few tweaks how much more polished it really looks. The next thing we're going to look at is the login page image. So this is the page your learners will see when they land on the LMS, and first impressions do count. You can have the image as anything you want, so something associated with your organisation would make the most sense. So let's try a picture of someone working on a laptop, which is quite relevant to the L&D space and LMS space. So if I were you, though, I would take a bit longer to really think about the imagery here, because it could be the difference between someone logging in or not logging in. Okay, I've just changed that now, so that'll work. That's great. And then moving on to multi-tenancy settings. So one big thing that I've not mentioned yet is that you can change all this branding inside the LMS. So it's different for different tenants, so that each tenant can get a different branded LMS. So it's really great. If you have multi-tenancy and you're maybe in different countries as well, it makes it so much easier to set up everything in one central place, but give everyone a personalised experience. Okay, and that's it for branding. So to wrap up, we've gone through colours, logos, login imagery, and multi-tenancy branding. Now, surprisingly, that isn't all for branding. This was just the branding basics, but I want to know what you currently think of it, basically, and let me know in the comments. Here's what we started with, and here's what we've got now. So next time I'm going to have a proper go at course imagery, menus, and so much more. I want to see what we can really do to really give it some personality and make it feel more like our LMS rather than just an out-of-the-box LMS. So yeah, I can't wait to see how that turns out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.